are you getting on with your Cameo silhouette, Sharon?
Fine, thank you.
Here's the new printer. How are you finding the colours on the new printer, Sharon?
Very good, Martin.
No, they are. You said they're a lot more vivid. I've printed a few DVDs out, as I said, because we also use this for printing DVDs out as well, so I'm very impressed with the colours. And again, we're using that little bulk ink system over in the corner there, which you can see. We're just standard inks, and this printer is working out absolutely fine for our t-shirt transfer printing business and also our DVD printing business, which we also operate off of the same printer. There's a transfer paper which Sharon's just put into the printer now. She's just printed off one transfer there. She's got 3 orders in front of her, and all she's going to do is to pull up the graphics which we've already got stored in the Cameo Silhouette software, and she sends the graphic straight to the printer, and once she's printed it out, she attaches it to the carrier sheet. A lot of people have asked me about these carrier sheets, and what they are basically is just adhesive paper with a light tack adhesive on, which you stick the transfer paper to. You then put the transfer paper and the carrier sheet into the machine under the rollers, and you basically print, cut the image out. As you can see, Sharon's just pulled off that paper there, and you're left with literally just the transfer. As I say, that's just a low tack adhesive on there. And what we do, rather than, because people are worried about the cost of these and when the tack goes, what do? Do you buy another one or what? Well, what we actually do, let me show you, like a spray tack adhesive, that's all it is. So that's what we use, and we just take the can off and literally hold it about 1.5 foot away and just give a light dusting over the top of the spray, and that refreshes the tackiness. But we always do maintain to keep the cover protective sheet that comes with it, otherwise you'll find fluff will get on it or whatever. So that's what we do there. Now hold on for a minute before you do that, Sharon. Now this is the bulk ink system. As I said, we've used initially, as you know, we put the bulk ink system on, and one of the lights there, as you can see, is come up as it needs re-inking or whatever. Now what you basically do, right down in the corner, if you can see, there's a little white switch. Hold that in for 5 seconds. 5, let go. And the printer warning light that says it's out of ink on the cartridge, just give that a press. And what you should find is that light at the back should go off, and the cartridges should reset. Did you turn the print off, Lot?
Done it.
There we go. Right, and as we can see, I've just reset the printer, and we're now printing out one of the transfer papers. So again, this is literally, we haven't had to make this, we've got them all stored on our PC in the cut software, so you don't have to print anything and store anything. The only thing we store, as you know, is the white t-shirts or the black t-shirts, and as soon as a sale goes through, all we basically do is pull up the image and then print it out on the small, medium, large, extra large, XXL or triple XL t-shirt, which we actually keep in stock. As I said to you, the R1800 printer that I had, as I say, we've had that for a good few years, and I think that one was second hand when I bought that one. I have had about 3 or 4 printers over the year, especially on the sublimation. We've had about 4 or 5 on the sublimation, but this is, as I said, just basic normal inks, and the transfer papers which we print on are absolutely lovely. As you can probably see there, we've got a really nice colour definition now. Chromes look good. So basically what we've got there is a nice transfer on the papers we use. If you want to know what papers we use, we've used these for the past 6 years virtually. I mean, you're going to have to actually have a look at my description, and you'll see the DVD there where we actually reveal will tell you the papers we found the best to use, and we've used quite a few different types. And bearing in mind, you know, you can buy cheap papers, and we get a lot of people email us when they've been on eBay, for example, just bought a cheap transfer paper, and they've complained that they've cracked and peeled, or the colours have run in them. Now that's, as I say, providing that you're heat pressing at the right temperature with a decent heat press, which you've got to have because you need the all-over coverage on the heat plate to ensure the transfer gets cured correctly. Once you've got that and you're pressing at the right temperature with the right amount of pressure for the right duration of time, the only variable there is your transfer paper. So it's critical that you get all the things that work in conjunction with each other. And as I say, we actually give that information out on our training DVD. And basically you can see that it's a simple business to operate. Anybody can learn this. Now you don't, as I say, you don't run before you can walk at the end of the day. You're going to need to learn how to use the cutter software, for example. You're going to need to learn how to get some images and perhaps alter some images, but you don't personally need to learn how to do that yourself if you're not artistic at all. There are ways and means of getting that sort of work done for you. The bottom line is that you've got to know how to put a product together and how to send it out to your customer, knowing that you've actually created a viable product. And the great thing about printing on t-shirts, and also other media as well, is that you can cater for loads and loads of different occasions. Not only that, you can start off local. You know, you ain't got to, it's not all about building a website, this business, and selling everything from your website. You go where the people are. 9 times out of 10 you'll find the people on Facebook. That's a free way of advertising. And you'll find the people on eBay, and you will pay eBay fees there. Obviously you will pay PayPal fees, but the bottom line is it's your global audience is there at your fingertips with credit card in hand, ready to buy products in your so-called chosen niches. And there's ways to research eBay to find out who's buying what, but the bottom line is, if you've got £1,500 or what is it, about $2,000, something like that, sitting in a bank account earning a pittance in interest, you might as well take it out of the bank and invest in a piece of equipment like what we've brought, a craft cutter. You could say a decent printer, or if you've already got a printer, it will get you going. And also the heat press, as you know. Industry standard heat press, not these cheap ones, or not these multi heat presses that you find on YouTube, eBay, where they do about 6 things in one. Keep to a dedicated one, as I said, to the ones we recommend in our training DVD, and you can easily get going in this business with very little experience. Just like Sharon, I taught Sharon, she didn't have any idea of how to do the stuff she's doing now, and as you can see, I'm just sitting back doing the filming and Sharon's doing the work. As you can see, she's having to refill another cartridge now, but the simple reason being these were brand new cartridges and the reset chips are just needing resetting as we've done our first initial full flush with the inks. So there you go, that is our little transfer printing business. It's the easiest way to get going, because the other methods are either very messy or very expensive to get going in. For example, you can buy what they call plastisol transfers that you have to have created, send an image away, they get screen printed onto a release paper and then sent back to you. You're limited with the amount of colours you can do, or should I say that they're not very cost effective for one-off runs. If you've got a batch of about 50 to 100 to do or something like that, then it's probably a good way to go. But if you're doing like these are literally one-off t-shirts we're creating here, when an order comes in and for one design, we just print it out as we're doing now and cut it out on the craft cutter there and press it. So yeah, there we go. Sharon's again just come in from doing a bit of shopping. There's 3 orders that we've got folders of images on our computer in different niches, and you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, just putting one t-shirt or one style of t-shirt out. As I said, we sell off of 3 or 4 different eBay accounts for the t-shirt printing. We have had people poach our images, which like for example the ones you're seeing. I mean, I've got a few people out there who actually just copy what I do, which it's not really that on, but at the end of the day, that is why I don't keep all my eggs in one basket, so people can't fully decipher or reverse engineer what niches we're in. The ones we do show you, obviously, It's inevitable that people will copy you because they get short of ideas or they don't know. But if that's the case, you know, you shouldn't bite the hand that feeds you at the end of the day. I'm here to teach you, and I do show you stuff, real stuff. You might find an image on eBay that is familiar to the one I'm doing, but as I said, there are other people out there who actually use the images which I show in my training videos. But use your own imagination. There are loads of niches out there, absolutely, well, thousands of niches. You've just got to get your mind into a lateral way of thinking and just literally do some research. Isn't that right, Sharon?
That's right, husband.
Hey, it's not all about copying me, it's about finding other niches. There are loads of niches. Think for yourself, as Sharon says. It's all learnable. Sharon had no idea about this business, and look at her now. She's running the t-shirt printing business by herself. I do help a little bit now and again. Although she don't know how to do graphics, or she's got no knowledge on Photoshop or whatever, I've got a little bit of knowledge on Photoshop. You don't need to learn all of Photoshop. So don't think that you have to be a wizard on Photoshop, or don't think that you need the latest edition of Photoshop. You can have Photoshop Elements, which works just as good, as long as you learn simple things, how to remove a background, how to change the colour of an image, how to cut round an image, and basically how to put your image onto an A4 sheet of paper. Whether it's an image you find on the internet, or whether it's an image which someone sends you in a photo, you need to have that image sized on an A4 sheet of paper, or an A3 if you're using an A3 transfer paper. We've got the facility to use an A3 paper, as you know, because we've got an A3 cutter there, we've got an A3 printer, and we've got a heat press, which is big enough to take, we're up to temperature nearly 189 degrees, we press at 190 degrees, for 30 seconds, and the pressure is medium to heavy. In other words, from 7 to 10. Now look, here we go. This is how flexible these papers are. This is a t-shirt paper we're putting on a black t-shirt. So if you haven't got a craft cutter, or you can't afford a craft cutter, you can actually cut out with a pair of scissors, as Sharon's showing you here. This is a transfer paper for a black t-shirt. These vary than the white t-shirts, as you can see. When you pull the backing paper off, that is the actual transfer paper for a black t-shirt. So she's just laying that one down there, and she's cut round that one by hand. So you don't need to have initially a craft cutter. That will keep your cost down even lower, but that's okay with transfer papers because you're cutting around not a complicated outline. For example, if you're going to cut vinyls, you have to have a craft cutter because you're going to be cutting letters out and shapes, and you can't really. If this was a white transfer paper for the white t-shirts, you would not see any outline, but we put a black background on the before we actually print an image out, so that that disappears to a certain extent, so we don't have a white border around the image. So here we go. On. One thing about Sharon, she's a very messy worker, whereas I like things neat and tidy, but she's got organised chaos. Haven't you, Sharon?
Yep, I know where everything is.
She knows where everything is. So as I said, the thing with the black t-shirt transfers is that you want to lay them on the t-shirt where they're not under the heat press, because these will curl up, as we know from experience. Sharon likes to measure her transfers a certain way. There are machines you can buy for lining images up, but at the end of the day, if it's not, you know, you're going to go by your eye for a certain amount of it, and just providing that some t-shirts are slightly different. In other words, the cut of them might be slightly different, so you know it can be quite awkward to lay an image on and then say that every t-shirt you put on is going to be exactly the same place. So Sharon likes to do it this way, and as you can see, she's put the cover sheet on. There's no sign of it curling up because the cover sheet's on, even though the hot plate is on the top. So again, 30-second press down, and as you can see there, we're pressing for 30 seconds, and she's on pressure number 8 there. So There we go, release the pressure. Take the protective cover off, and basically that's it. And then once she's taken it off, she folds it up. As you've seen many a time in the other videos, she does it a certain way so that the image is on display when it goes into the bag. Exactly the same formula, as I said. Once you've got your way of doing it, you may develop a different way of doing it, but this just works for Sharon. She puts it into the bag, seals it up, and then it goes into a...
I'll just go down to the next one.
And then she's got them all printed off, as you can see. All the ones she wants to use, she's had them all printed off. There it is, simple little business, look. All sitting down there. Different size t-shirts in the 2 primary colours that we use, black and white. You can do this, give it a go. See you later.